Greetings and blessings, everyone. This is James Thomas Devitt from the Blue Star Spiritual Group. Um, in our online group, The Way Spiritual Philosophy, I did a article early on called Choice, and I wanted to do a video on choice today. Things have been happening and coming up lately where I felt it important to kind of come back on that topic, but in a video a video way. It's a really interesting concept, choice. I had a conversation once with my half sister, who is a born-again Christian, and she made it very clear that everyone has complete free will choice. And I can't argue with her because she's absolutely correct. We do. But what we also kind of, I think, have a tendency to forget is the fact that with choice, there are always consequences and ramifications of our choice. Some of those consequences and ramifications happen very quickly, right away. Sometimes they take a long time to manifest. And I'd like to give you a couple of different examples of that. Now, my mother made a choice in 1966, which had a very profound effect on several people in our family. A very profound effect. And she never corrected what she did. And basically what ended up happening is with the choice that she made, it created a situation where I was raised basically without being able to spend any time with my father. Now, for a lot of people, they'd look at that and go, "Oh man, that's horrible, man. That really sucks," you know. And I mean, at the time, it was really kind of crap not being able to spend time with my dad and learn things from my dad that a son would normally learn, and I know he missed out on a lot, and we both suffered in a lot of different ways because of what happened. So you look at it and you go, well, that choice, that didn't do anything good. One of the things that I've chosen to do this year as part of my New Year's resolution was do a lifetime review, reflect on my life, see how the different choices that have been made has gotten me to where I am today. And I looked at this, and I actually didn't find out that my sister was my half-sister until 2005. We have different fathers. It happens, no big deal. So I came to an intense realization first part of this year, because my father passed away in January, as many of you may know. And I found myself wondering, how did I get here? That's because of what my mother did in 1966. If she hadn't done what she did, I would have spent a lot more time with my father. So much so that I probably would have moved and lived in Arkansas where he lived. And I'd probably still be there today, you know, an entirely different life. But because of the choice that was made, I ended up here, here being Wellington, New Zealand. For a long time, I didn't like myself. I didn't feel like any place was at home. Um, I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere. But you see, all that's changed, and I'm an entirely different person as well. Because of that, I got to meet my wife, Janice, who is, well, for me, she's the greatest thing that's ever been created. Um, and it really freaked me out because after we'd met, she came over from Australia to the States in June 1999, and we met and spent a few days together. And she had to go back home, of course, and I was scared, completely scared. I had so much fear you wouldn't imagine. And I had to make a choice. Here's my choice. Either A, I buy into the fear and go with the fear and stay in the States, or I take a punt and get on a plane and fly to Australia. Not knowing what would happen, not knowing how things would transpire. We got married on July 2nd of 2000, and in less than a month now we celebrate our 15th wedding anniversary. And it's the greatest. It's beyond phenomenal. I'll put it that way. But if my mom had not made the choice she made in 1966, none of this would have happened. I would never have done this. I never would have probably even met Janice. And yet, that's exactly what I was supposed to do. There are things that we choose before we incarnate. And it's up to our guides and it's up to our friends, those who are here to assist us, either who are in the physical or not, to do things, to assist us to make sure that we do what we have chosen to do, to meet the people that we need to meet, to go to the places we need to go to, have the experiences that we want to have, all of these things. But now everything's changed. All the old prophecies are dead. We're not going to have Armageddon. There's not going to be a massive battle between the forces of light and the sons of light and the sons of darkness. Although when we look at the news now, it looks like that's what's happening with ISIS and everything. No, what's happening is we're evolving. But now we're faced with another choice. We get up in the morning, we make choices, what are we going to wear? What are we going to have for breakfast? What are we going to have for lunch? We come home from work, and what am I going to fix for dinner? Do I need to do some laundry? What program are we going to watch on TV? Are we going to go for a walk? Whatever. There's all these different choices for us to make every single day. If you choose to drink loads of alcohol, you could seriously become an alcoholic. If you overeat really crappy food all the time, don't be surprised if you become morbidly obese. I know, because I did become morbidly obese. Back in 1999, I weighed 165 kilos. For any one of you in America listening to this message, 1 kilo is 2.2 pounds. Do the math. I was very heavy. I didn't like myself. What can we say? It's taken a lot of work, but I've gotten to a point now where I love who I am. I love where I am. I love who I'm with. I love the people I interact with. I love doing the spiritual work that I've been wanting to do for 30 years. I'm finally doing it. I'm over the moon. I've made a choice. Here's the kicker. The choice that we have to make. Are you going to be who you truly are or not? Are you going to live your life from a place of love, from your heart, or are you going to live from fear? It's a simple choice. But at the same time, it's a hard choice to make. There's so many things that we as human beings think, oh, I'm really not sure about this. I don't know if that's possible or doable. Oh no, I've got to do all of these things. I don't have a choice. You do have a choice. You can choose to be miserable in a dead-end job, living in a place that you don't like, being around people you don't want to be around. Or you can say, you know what? I've had enough. Don't want it anymore. Don't need it anymore. I've had it. I've had it. Done. Make a choice. Make a change. Go somewhere else. It's funny, I've seen a lot of people over the years ask for readings. I've done readings, psychic readings and stuff. Am I going to find my true love? Should I move? Should I look for another job? Will I be happier in another job? The grass is always greener. Don't ask the questions. It's silly. Follow your own heart. If you're not happy, change where you are. I just did a healing today on someone who had been living on the South Island. And it was the wrong place for them. And they gave it a go. They were there for a year. But at the end of the day, they had to make a choice. Do I want to be happy with who I am? Do I want to be happy where I am? Or do I want to continue to be miserable? Do I want to continue to be in a space that's not good for me? And they made a choice. They made the choice to move. They sold all their stuff and they moved. And she actually said to me, she said, it was easy to sell my stuff. A few years ago, it wouldn't have been. I would have been like, oh, I've had this for years. I can't let it go. She let it go. She made a choice. The only person you can choose for control is you. You can have 5 kids, and guess what? You can do everything you can to guide them, to assist them on their journey, to get them to learn lessons, to learn things that's going to assist them on their path. It's going to assist them later on in life. But at the end of the day, you can't control their choices. They're going to do it the way they do it. That's the way it is. And sometimes, as parents, all we can do is sit back and cringe and go, oh my God! And you just hope that they make the right choices. I always find it interesting when parents are like, I'm not going to allow my children to do this. No, they're not allowed to do this or not allowed to do that. It's like, so in other words, you don't trust them to do the right thing. And you not only don't trust them to do the right thing, but you don't even trust you as a parent having taught them the right things. They're still going to do what they're going to do. They're going to make their own mistakes. I remember after my grandmother passed away, about 6 months later, in June of 1987, I went back to Oklahoma to take care of my grandfather. And one day we were standing in the lounge room, and he looks at me straight up and he goes, please answer me this. Why didn't you listen to me when you were growing up? It would have saved you so many problems. And I looked at him in the eyes, and I looked at him and I said to him, because like you, I had to make my own mistakes. I had to learn my own lessons. And he understood that. But you see, now that's not enough. Now we have to make a choice, a decision. If we choose fear, we are choosing dense energy. We are choosing things does not bring joy. Keeps us from experiencing phenomenal, fantastic things. Had I allowed fear to control my choice 15 years ago, over 15 years ago now, I can assure you and I can promise you I would not be here today. And I don't mean in Wellington, New Zealand, I mean on the planet. I wouldn't be here today. I was using tobacco, I was overeating, I was doing all the wrong things because I didn't like who I was. It's time to choose. Okay? You find a group that is supportive, that gives you love, that gives you support, that doesn't judge you, that doesn't, it's like the group, our group, The Way, spiritual philosophy. I don't care what your spiritual beliefs are. I know for a fact that 2 of our members are born again Christians. And they don't get judged. Nobody does. Everyone gets treated with respect, with dignity, with love. Why? Because each and every one of us, no matter what our personal beliefs might be, no matter what our personal truths might be, we're all on this journey together. We are all walking the path together. We all look different. We all sound different. I mean, hell, half the time I sound like, ever since, I don't know what it is, but ever since my father passed away, I have really kind of gotten back my southern accent, in a big way, in a lot of ways, which has been real fascinating for me because usually the only time I would speak in a southern accent is when I was there, and that would be it. But he's definitely had an effect on me since he's passed, and he's around me a lot, and I feel him. He has great love. It's a season of choice. We've crossed that barrier, that point of no return. The way things have been, that's over with. It's just people have to catch up with that now. Sooner or later they will. Will it happen in our lifetime? Perhaps not. But I can guarantee you that in our lifetime, and it's already started now, we are going to start seeing the changes occur. Young people are coming along. They are not like the way we were when we were kids. Goes beyond the fact that they have a lot more technology than what we had. Nah, it goes a lot farther than that. They have a love inside of themselves. They have a passion inside of themselves. They are different. I see it in little kids. I work at the hospital here, so I'll be walking down the corridor at the end of the day or whatnot, and there'll be families outside of ICU, because they've got a loved one in ICU, and there'll be little kids out there running around playing, and you look into their eyes and you're like, damn, you're different. Your energy's different. You feel different. And I see it in young people. There's young people even in our group, and you can see, you look at a picture of them. My wife did a reading for someone yesterday, and you look at them, and physically, the face, everything, it's like, oh man, you look like you're about 21, 22, maybe 23 years old, but you look into their eyes and it's like, damn, you are an old soul. You have so much knowledge and so much wisdom within you. It's a season of choice. It's time to wake up. The alarm's gone off. Choose love over fear. Don't judge people. Don't criticize people for how they live their life or who they are or any of that crap. Don't do it. It's not worth it. honestly, the only thing that's worth it is that we can come together in love, in appreciation for each other on this journey that we are on this planet. I would say 85 to 90% of every person on this planet believes in God. And they believe in the love of God. The 10 to 15% that don't, personally, I think that deep down they really do. They just don't admit to it. It doesn't matter. Because if you look in their eyes, you can still see the love of God within them. We're here for a small amount of time in each lifetime. Don't waste your time being mean to others or being nasty to others. Be rather the living example of love, compassion, tolerance. It's a choice. Because sooner or later you're going to have to make this choice, either in this life or the next. But you're going to have to make the choice. The sooner you choose, easier it becomes. The more you choose love, the more you choose to be who you really are here on this planet, the easier it becomes to be who you are. To be that living example of love, tolerance, compassion. If you don't like your job, find another one. If you don't like where you live, move. Follow your heart. Don't do anything out of obligation. Don't do anything because somebody said, oh, well, you can't do that. Crap. Well, screw that. You can do anything you want to do. You simply have to believe in you. There's not one person on this planet, whether I've met them or not, I don't believe in. There's not one person on this planet, whether I've met them or not, that I do not love, do not have compassion for. There's not one person on this planet, whether I've met them or not, that I would not be able to see the love of God within them. So I challenge you, make that choice. Step up to the plate. Be who you are. Kola pratike, jombara heta hatala prototo te pratai toma. Shiala hiria pratono no takai, iala hata to pratomo tikaratamat hitela pratike, roto to karatomata, yetakala ito pratonomotike, viala hato pratike, raparatike te la pratomoteshe. May every step you take be blessed with the love of God. May every step you take be from your heart. So be it, and it is so.